Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today we're going to be talking about some more STMRs, 5 in total. And just like before, if you haven't watched my first one, go watch the magic one before this one. Anyways, so basically, we're going to go over 5, not in any particular order, all of them are good. Like I covered in my magic version of STMRs, this is just for defense. So we're only covering things that literally only cover for defense, and things that, you know, defense type units would like to have, physical cover tanks would like to have, provokers would like to have, things like that. Defense-ish. I know that some magic tanks can be provokers, but we're gonna focus more on the traditional thing. Your warrior lights, your Wilhelms, and things like that. So that's what we're gonna do today, guys. So I'm glad you guys liked the previous one. That was actually like one of the biggest view spikes I've had in a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue on. I won't be able to do these every day, but I'm gonna do this today because I'm able to do it today. So don't expect it every single day, but I'm gonna try my best for you guys. Alright, onwards with the video. Not that. This. Sorry about that. And here we are with the first one. Remember guys, this is not a tier list. They're all equally good in my eyes. So the first one, Shield of the Chosen King, which ironically is actually not a shield. It's a MATERIA. One of the oldest, 7-star STMRs in the game came out when 7 stars came out. So here's Shield of the Chosen King, and it's MATERIA, 50% HP, 30% defense, and also something, showing the age at this point with this one. 100% defense when HP drops below 80%, which is pretty good. But most times you're probably going to have better buffs than that now. So it's kind of showing its age a little bit. So the main thing you really want to worry about is the 50% HP, which is insanely high, and 30% defense. So yeah, we're only covering 5 in total, guys, so I may have missed some that are also really good. These are just 5 that I think are really, really worth getting. Anyways, number 2, this you may have this one. You may have the first 2, because EX tickets, 5-star EX tickets, you probably managed to get a few of these guys. So WILHELM, very good unit back in the day, but his STMR will live on. His STMR will always see use in some fashion because I've used it on my DPS, used it on my tanks, used it on everything. So with that being said, it is owned by WILHELM, and it is heavy armor, 110 defense and spirit. I know it's kind of a combination, but that 20% HP on top is just really even. It's just so much better. So yeah, it's an insanely good STMR for what it is. I've used it. I mean, even healers sometimes can, like Folka, example. I put it on Folka before because she can, for some reason, equip heavy armor. Obviously, since she's the Veritas thing. So yeah, it's just very versatile. And when you want to use it, you want to use it for defense. You want to use it for spirit, you want to use it on your DPS, you want to use it on your tanks, whatever you want to do. A lot of the time actually I'm using it on my DPS because they lack stats. Comparative to a physical tank, they can usually get by without this, but for DPS they usually have really bad stats, defensive wise, so this helps out a lot, believe me. So eventually you might not want to use this on your tanks anymore, just put this on your DPS when you need it. Yes, it doesn't have any offensive stats like attack, but what's good as a DPS if they're dead, right? So let's move on to the next one. Now, unfortunately, this is a JP exclusive, and Global will never get this because they've already got a SIEGNACIO, and his STMR is far worse than this in terms of STMRs for defense, and we're not going to get into other than that part. So it's translated basically to Lovely Mirror Bear, or Mirror Shield, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, so yeah, it's only for SIEGNACIO on the JP side, who is UOCable, fairly enough. Heavy shield, 85 defense, and 85 spirit, 40% earth and fire resist, 20% HP, and also increases chance of being targeted by 50%. And also, it has that passive where if they, at the start of battle or when they get revived, they get evading 1 physical attack for 3 turns, which is pretty nice. This one I don't have I can't show you a picture of it, unfortunately. I don't have any of them. So, I mean, obviously, there's another STMR on this list that shares one of these traits, and it has even less of one of these things on this thing here, but it's still in here. So, chance of being targeted already is really insane. On top of 20% HP, on top of all these other nice stats, this is an obvious grab. If you pulled on the banner on the JP side and you got 4 of him, well, the unit itself is pretty good, but the STMR is far better, I think, than when the unit will last. I think the STMR will outlast the unit itself eventually. So yeah, this STMR is insanely good. I have to say, like, it's just mind-blowingly good. And considering that there's not a lot of targeting chances items in the game, this is an easy grab for any physical tank. Moving on. Now I translated this basically to Durandal for anyone who has played Final Fantasy XII and they want to correct me on that one. I looked it up even on the wiki and it was called Durandal, I think. So this is VAAN's STMR. Now we just mentioned that shield had 50% chance, and that's insanely good. But this one's also insanely good because you can equip it to almost everybody. Almost anyone can equip a sword. So 30% physical evasion and 30% chance of being targeted. So it shares an equal balance of things that you would want on a provoker. Now the attack is nice, but you're not really looking at it could have 0 attack and it'd be insane. You could have 0 attack. The only thing you're worrying about is the physical evasion and the chance of being targeted, which is equally really good. So basically it combos really well with himself, VAAN, sorry. And the fact that basically with his TMR, they can't be stacked, by the way, just saying. And his STMR, now he has 90% evasion. He has 90% evasion with 2 items. Yes, that's an STMR, but with 2 items, he has 90% evasion because it's in his passive. He has a lot already. So on top of all those things, now he can use those slots for other things instead of evasion. Getting him 100% auto provoke, which is pretty easy to do considering that he already has 90% evasion. You got a lot of slots to do that stuff now. So this guy will come to global eventually in the next few months, and I think that he's just himself. I don't know if I did his review justice back then, but now I'm just gonna go ahead and do a side note. After using him for a long time, I think he's basically necessary, and I know that's gonna upset a lot of people, but I think he really is one of the units that are gonna be necessary. There are some other maybe breakers that are gonna be equal to him, maybe, but the fact that he can triple cast breaks are gonna be really necessary for upcoming content. Not a lot of stuff, but there are a few things that have come out on the JP side that are break resistant. So what that means is if you use a break, it has a chance of not even working. So the fact that he can triple cast his breaks makes it so he has 3 chances to get through, as opposed to other breakers like Riku who only have like 2 chances. So that already makes that Fan's just superior in terms of versus break resistant bosses. He's just much better than anyone else. But with that being said, yeah, I know it's gonna upset. I've seen a lot of people on Reddit saying that they would quit the game if things require certain units. But I mean, his kit is just really good, and I don't know. I'm not gonna go too much more into it. I just think that his STMR is really good. And lastly, another unit that you cannot obtain on global, unfortunately, for now. I don't know what the future holds for this unit. I really don't know if he's ever gonna come to global. Nothing's ever been said. Only hearsay. Only speculation, not really hearsay, just speculation that Zargaboth was like a trade. Zargaboth is global exclusive. Alum said that eventually he would come over. That never has happened so far. And Zargaboth has never come over to the global side. So that's why I've only put question mark, because I just don't know if he's ever going to come. You could watch this video a year from now and maybe he will be out and you can say, hey, he's out. This is a future-proof part of the video where he might come out in like 2 months from now or something. So don't come back to the video and say, hey, you're wrong, he's not JP exclusive. I know he's probably not going to be JP exclusive forever. But for now, he is JP exclusive. His STMR is insanely good, and actually, it's finding some more use even now because it's a unit called Cleone can equip helmets, and she is extremely squishy, extremely squishy. So this I've got this STMR on her right now, and it's helping out substantially. So 1000 HP, 18 attack, 81 defense, and 20% HP on a helmet. Which almost anyone can equip. Almost not everyone can equip helmets, but there's a large majority of units that can equip helmets. So I gotta say, this STMR is up there, man. So spicy meatball of an STMR. So that's why this is my top 5. And remember, guys, this is not a tier list. I just want to point that out there because they're when I made a tier list before, not really a tier list, but I made a list before, and people like, hey, why is this at this spot? Why not this spot? All of them are equally good. So before you go ahead and rage type in those comments, please listen to me. All 5 of them are equal in value. So if you get any one of these 5, you are good. If you have all 5, you are good. Somehow, if you were playing the JP side, I guess you can only have all 5 if you're playing the JP side. So with that being said, that concludes my top 5 STMRs that will last you in terms of defense. What should I go for next, guys? What should we do next? That is up to you. In the comment section, I want you to write what I should do next. Because I know there are a lot of people wanting me to do this category. But now what do we do for the third one? Third episode installment, or what do you want to call it? And if you watch all the way through, type in hashtag GABRANTH in the comment section. Hashtag GABRANTH is the keyword for the ending of this video. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Peace.